This is the Cash Perspective. And today, since we observing Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, I decided to stop by and give you 5 undisputable facts about the man. But me being who I am, you know I had to throw a bonus in there and give you one that might be a little debatable. Let's get to it. He was born Michael King. Now, when he was 5, his old man went to Germany. He became inspired by the Protestant reformist Martin Luther. So when he arrived back in the States, he legally changed him and his son's name to Martin Luther. So that's how he became Martin Luther King Jr. All right, so his IQ was off the Richter. He graduated from Morehouse at 19 years old with a bachelor's in sociology. He was the first black person to garner the distinction of being named Times Magazine Person of the Year. That's big. That was in 1964. Also, in 1964, he won a Grammy. He won a Grammy for We Shall Overcome, the March on Washington. So they was giving out Grammys back then for documentaries and things of that nature. Got one. All right, so for the last indisputable fact, the United States government was found culpable for the murder of Martin Luther King. Let me take that back. The United States government was found culpable for the assassination of Martin Luther King. So a civil trial was brought forth by Martin Luther King's children back in 1999. I low-key remembered it. I was young, but I remember this though. The jury came back with a unanimous guilty verdict after a month's worth of evidence being presented and over 70 witnesses testifying. So the city of Memphis, the state of Tennessee, and the United States government were all found culpable. They went as far as saying that this was one huge conspiracy. It's those 3 entities to get this man up out of here. Now, to me, the most offensive part about all this, so when they convicted the federal government, or not convicted, it wasn't criminal, it was civil. So when they found him guilty though, of being culpable of the assassination, family was awarded $100. Nah, for real, like a C-note, like a Benji, like, nah, for real, like a huncho, like $100. They donated to charity. I don't know if it was a lot of fuss made behind the scenes about the amount. I tell you what though, what was even bigger was the fact that the United States government got called out. Let's move on to the debatable theory, right? Can't call anything that's debatable a fact. So let's move on to the debatable theory. It's a theory with compelling evidence out there that when he took that bullet on that balcony and he made it to the hospital, he wasn't dead. They say Dr. Breen Bland suffocated him. So there was testimony given. And in this testimony, the story goes, Breen Bland, the chief neurosurgeon at St. Joseph's Hospital in Memphis at that time, walked into the room while everyone's milling about doing what they do when a trauma victim comes in. He yells out, "Let that nigga die." He begins to put people out the room. It was police with him, and I got some more official looking characters. And the nurse name that gave this testimony, whose story this was, her name is Lula Mae Shelby. She's passed on at this point. But she says she was one of the last people being ushered out the room. And she heard the men that walked into the room hawking up spit to spit on Dr. King. She said that's what made her turn around. So she looked back and she saw Dr. Breen remove the pillow from under Dr. King's head and put it over his face until he flatlined. Will this ever be solidified as the truth? Probably not. I mean, shit. But knowing the hatred that man received from the opposition, is it hard to believe? Do you not think they would have went that far? It definitely ain't hard for me to believe. So anyway, get in the comments. Let me hear your thoughts. Y'all think this last theory that I gave, is it something that's plausible? Holla at me, you know? And while you at it, follow if you ain't following, subscribe if you ain't subscribed, share this mother. Now you wanna know.